What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. Alright, so we just got the rebreather. We are going to go get the rope gun, but before we leave this area, I want to take you and have you grab a couple of things in this area. I'm also going to take down my tarp and take that with me. You can decide whether you want to leave that there or not. Now, you want to just head right out on this little sandy area, and if we head for the rocks out here, we can actually find some canned food as well as the can opener. So we'll just run out and grab that real quick. And it is some stuff right there, some things right here, some more rope. And then the can opener is right there. There's a watch. There's some different items there to loot. And I'm getting a... Let's see. What happens if we just eat it? What is it? Oh, it's a clam. Okay, or an oyster. Right on. All right, so we'll just suck that up. And the other thing that you should do is swim directly across here. You don't have to worry about any sharks or anything in this area. You can just swim directly across. We're going to find some tents over here. This is where I recommend saving before we move on to the next section, especially since we took down our tent. We don't have that tarp tent anymore, so we can't save it. But there's another item that we're going to get right over here, and that happens to be the machete. Alright, so you can see those tents off in the distance there. As we're headed up to the tents, you want to stop at this boat, and that's where you're going to get the machete. Go ahead and do whatever looting you need to do in this area as well. So we'll grab those, grab the rock, why not? There's some food right here we'll grab, and some other containers to get things out of as well. And I am going to show you certain things that you need to loot on your way. This guy actually has a weapon attachment when you reach him the first time. I've already been here, so that should be right there if you haven't been over here yet. So do keep that in mind. There's some ammo, and then go ahead and save in this location before we move on. Moving on, what we're going to want to do is just head back towards the river that comes into the ocean there. We're going to follow that river straight up until we hit the first purple exclamation point. That's what you want to do. I will stop off at a camp, and I'll show you that location when I get there. That way you know where that location is. There's some key items that I think you should pick up at that location so that you can craft the timed bomb, and that's going to help you with this next cave. So if you followed the river up to this point, you'll come across this camp here. What you want to make sure to do is grab all these coins and the watch right there. That way you can make that timed bomb once we're ready for it. There's also some other things to loot, so make sure that you do that. And there we go. We'll go ahead and just, when I see meals that I throw away, I just stop and eat them. That's the best way to just keep yourself healthy throughout. Our next stop is going to be that purple exclamation point. Like I said, that's very important for this next section. It's actually where you get the flashlight. We're also going to get the improved axe as well. Alright, so this is where the improved axe is. We've reached that location. You can see it's just below the spot where it's marked on the map with the purple exclamation point. We are going to loot everything that we find here real quick. And we're full on flares already. And then don't forget, you can always break these, and those are going to give you those circuit boards. You'll want to grab the tape and whatever items you can find in this area. So now that we have all that, we can grab the improved axe there, a couple more energy drinks, another tarp, some more tape. There's just an absolute ton of stuff at this location. It is not marked on the map, but it is a good place to come and loot real quick. So now that we're done with that, we are going to head up. We'll just follow this path basically in order to get to what we need. And this is going to give us a tracker, a GPS tracker, and it's going to give us a flashlight. So we want to get all the way up to the top of this ridge, and then we have to cut a rope to release our buddy who actually has the flashlight. Like I said, all the way up to the top of the ridge, and you'll see this rope on a rock right up here. That one there. We go ahead and pick up whatever is around it, and then we're just going to smack that. That's going to release our buddy down there. And there's a bit of a pro tip here for you. So if you push towards the side of the mountain there, you won't take as much damage from falling. So keep that in mind. We're going to take his tracker, and then we're going to take the flashlight. And now's a good time to make some Molotov cocktails. Okay, so from his body right there, if we look away from it, we want to go to the left. We want to go to that mark that's on the map. That's going to be where we go in order to get the rope gun. So we're going to head that direction, and I'll meet you when we get over there. Okay, we're at this location. We're stopping here because this has the 3D printer. This is actually where we can get the flask, and that's really going to help us out for later on. We have to go right past this area anyway, so it's good to just go ahead and grab it while we're here. So we'll just run in. We can also save at this location, so we're just going to run in here. We're going to change that to the flask, just like that. Go ahead and tell it to print that. You can do all the looting that's in here, grab all the goodies. There are a few items that are good to pick up. This is actually one location that always has batteries on the floor there, so good place to come by and grab batteries. You can run down here as well. You won't be able to make it anywhere down here, but there is another section that you're going to revisit later. Right down here, you're going to go through those doors once we have some key cards, and that's going to progress the story. But before we could do that, we have to get the shovel, which is going to be in the next video after this one. This one is for the rope gun. You have to have the rebreather from the last video and the rope gun from this video to get the shovel. Okay, now that we have the flask, we should be able to get some water in it, just like that. And now we have water that we can take with us. So we'll go ahead and drink, make sure our water is all filled up. And the next place that we're going is that cave that's directly ahead of us there. So this is the location for the 3D printer. We just head that way for the cave, and that's where we're going to find the rope gun. The other thing about this area, right where the 3D printer is, there is a decent amount of aloe right here. So you can grab that and keep your eyes out for any of the white flowers that are short to the ground. That way you can make the healing mix. Here's the stun baton as well. If you want that, you can grab that while you're here. And then we just want to go right over here. And this is the cave that we want to go into. We'll go ahead and loot the things that are outside of this cave before going in. At this location as well, I do recommend you equip the flashlight. And then you're also going to want to craft one of the timed bombs. So we're going to combine that with some C4 and all the items that we need. I believe it is 5 of the coins. It's going to be a watch, C4, the circuit board, the duct tape, and the wire. So if we add one more of those and one of these, we should be able to craft it. There we go. We'll combine that. I love this animation. It's so awesome. You just tape it all together and boom, you are a master. So not a bad idea to equip this once you are able to get in here. So we're just going to do like that. And then we'll go back in and we'll equip that guy. And we're ready to go. We are again just going to run through this cave. So first little area here, some things that you can loot. There's some canned food, different items in this area. So make sure you're looting around in this first area before you move on. Bunch of watches, some cloths, things like that. And here we go. Now this one is not the same. You don't always stay to the right in this one. You will, well, I'll show you how to get there. So we're just going to run through this first area. There are enemies in here. We're going to run towards the lights over here. We're going to grab a couple of things here. Not a whole lot that we need. And then we're going to dip in the water, run over to the lights over here. Again, some items to loot. There's actually a magazine or a piece of paper there. We'll put that back away. We want to go up here. Don't go down. We want to stay up on the side. We're going to come around this corner and immediately throw this. Just like that. These guys are going to come running in after us. And we do want to pick up more of those before we move on. Okay. So, if you don't throw that explosive bomb, you can pick them up, but it takes a little bit longer. I suggest, if you're going to do it that way, have an empty hand when you run up to it. That way, you don't have to worry about getting into your inventory, switching it out, so on and so forth. Now, you can, of course, come through here and kill the enemies that are in here, should you want to. My goal is to get in and out as quickly as possible, and there are a lot of enemies in here, as you're going to see. We're coming up to some babies there. I really don't worry about looting anything in here either. The reason why is because most of the loot that's in here just is not worth looting. So, we're just going to continue on. It's loot that you can find anywhere else, which we're really here for is that rope gun. Once you get to this section where it feels like it opens up, just get in the river here and just follow that down. It does get foggy in here. You can see there are enemies in here. And once you get to where it gets kind of tight there, you're just going to jump out, run along the side, and then head for that light right there. Usually there's an enemy walking around this light. I don't know why he's not there this time. Maybe he's farther in, but just continue along this path. A lot of hanging bodies here. We're going to run up, run past the babies. Go ahead and jump over those little guys. And continue on past all the bodies. Another set of bodies here. There are some pieces of rope here. If you want to stop and grab them, you can do that. And then we're going to follow this up and to the left here. We go right through this little crack. And up through here. And just continue on through these little teeny tiny areas. There's some loot right there we can grab and another newspaper clipping. While we're here, we'll go ahead and re-equip our machete because nothing can get to us here. We are going to backtrack back down. And then go through here. You can see these piles of muck on the ground. This is where we want to be. We're going to run past some more babies and just duck through here. And continue on. Come into a water area. There are babies in the water here. We're just going to run past them. There should be an enemy right up here as well. Usually there's one walking around. I don't see him this time. But usually there is one of the finger guys walking around up here. We get right up here, and we actually have the rope gun right there. There he is, finger guy. And we'll grab those things, and then we're actually able to use the rope gun to get out of here. We're just going to use it to go across here, and boom. There are enemies back there, but as long as you just keep moving, you'll be able to avoid them. And we're headed back out of this cave right now, so we will get to the exit, and that's where we'll call this video quits. You guys, let me know in the comment section below of this video, are you enjoying this style of play, or would you rather see me go in and attack all these enemies? And there we go, we have completed that cave. It is right there on the map. The next location that we're going to go to in the next video is going to be where you get the shovel. We're going to do the same thing in that video, and I'm going to show you guys how to get in and out of that one the same way we did this one. I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. If you'd like to become a legend, there's a button that says join on this page. Click that for details. There's 2 videos on the screen. Click one of those to watch next, and I'll meet you over there.